bit, things become a little more interesting.
Crazy part about that is Exist yesterday had so many stylish plays.
Exactly.
They didn't have they were like 1-kill plays each, but they were just the way in which he did them. The defuse in the smoke immediately after the kill, the Molotov on Daps, got them into this grand final. He has the most amount of trophies, and you said it, this would be the third team he wins with in CSGO if he wins this one, because he did pick up an event with FaZe. You said IEM Sydney when he was standing in.
So right now we're kicking things off. We've got the pistol round relatively slow, but they're going to pounce over towards middle and an opening kill from Simple. There's the man. He's been doing it the entirety of this tournament. Actually, the entirety of his career. He finds a second. Yeah, what a fitting way to kick this off.
So sly on the start. They've already boosted one up toward the window. Not through it yet. On the balcony, if you want to call it that. The sill. As Electronic will get Exist. Fnatic's record on this map is phenomenal over the last period of time, and they picked it. So this gives us a great indication of how the series is going to be from the very off. And so far, it's gone off for Navi. It's gone off the rails for Fnatic. It's 5-1 in terms of players alive, and Twist has it all to do. Bomb planted for Navi.
Here's the third for him. Oh, okay. We'll get one on the board there. Finished off very quickly by Electronic. Now the desk. They're obviously talking about this map leaning towards Navi. It is the map choice of Fnatic, and we could see with the stat lines that came up on the screen, they are 100% on this map in the last 3 months played. So that's impressive in itself, but let's be honest. If you look at their side of the bracket compared to the teams on Navi's side of the bracket and the caliber of Counter-Strike that's flowed on in here since the major, they definitely had an easier run. Their record to this point in this tournament, they've played 12 games. It's 10-2. For Navi, they've played a total of 16 with 11 wins and 5 losses. So they've had more losses, Navi, but they've also played better teams in my book.
That's a good point. Oftentimes stats are dependent on the oppositions. Antares was that argument for a long period of time. He hasn't exactly been a superstar on his new team, but that probably has to do with communication as much as he's not finding kills that he's used to winning out on. Shots come back through Connector. Simple will take the fight instead. Zeus actually gets it. Zeus has been an honorable mention in this event for certain. He's been trading off Simple, been playing great with the information, and his stats are reflective of that. JW, good timing to peek out the window. That starts to cost him a bit of money. Oh, Simple down.
Uncharacteristic spam.
Very much so, and JW is going to get an AK from this. They've lost more than 3 players, or 3 or more, which means that the money is affected quite considerably in that round.
Should be able to drop some AKs across and make up for that loss, but like you said, that's not necessarily the cleanest round compared to Pistol, where it was just one player going on down. Now the fans here, I think they're on the side of Navi, that's for sure, but there are some Fnatic shirts around. We've been mentioning this throughout. The Chinese crowd seems to put a lot of stock in the legacy names, right? And Navi and Fnatic, it's a rivalry of old. It goes back to the days of 1.6 tournaments here in China and the likes of them showing their face. So obviously they have a lot of fans here. But Simple is the crown favorite without a doubt. We're going to see mid-smokes early, drawing JW and Crim's attention. Brolan anchoring down towards that ticket position. We'll have to deal with this A onslaught that's coming on in. Edward will be entering through the ramp first. Flashes go over, smokes as well, and here we go.
Edward takes the charge, goes in first, checks shadow, smokes down behind him, doesn't have to worry about anyone from the stairs, but they do it to ticket. Brolan jumps up, gets vision on one. He might get a second because he knows they're so far forward they won't be able to see upward of the smoke, and it's Simple that he finds. They mentioned that on the desk. The entry of Simple versus Brolan, the young man, and Fnatic, what a round. Last time they got 3 down. This time, no one's dead. And Electronic is all that is left. Bombs being defused now. In fact, they might even consider just waiting to get this defuse. Because if they can get the gun out of his hands and avoid him saving, well, they're going to defuse it anyway. You can see it on the left side. It's a benefit, but I guess take the win. Don't cost themselves that much either. They are fresh on the winning column, so they don't have that much money themselves.
Yeah. Still will be a tool in the hands of Navi here, and they're the type of team who gets it done with basically nothing. We were talking about after they've been losing pistol rounds throughout this tournament. Time and time again, Zeus has actually dropped Eagles across to Electronic and Simple, and they've been getting it done. Absolute madmen. And speaking of their names, Simple #1 in the tournament, Electronic #2 statistically speaking. For the side of Fnatic, Crims is in at #10 and Twist is 13th before we kick off the grand final. So obviously, damage done, down to 5 HP.
Don't know how Simple didn't even get tagged on that. By the way, Electronic, the one with the rifle, not Simple. Just to back that up, everyone's saying You made the point yesterday, you know, Simple always has the rifle, Simple always has the rifle. He's given it every time, not always.
Yeah, Electronic's shown that he's just as capable.
Certainly.
Almost had that train clutch yesterday, which was... That would have been wild if he'd finished that one off. The tech is of the movement there onto the...
It's the movement under pressure, too, right? Like, it's not a crazy hard jump. I saw people, again, Reddit saying, oh, well, I can do that. Well,
get rid of a 1-on-5.
It's contextual.
Well, it wasn't a 1-on-5, but...
Yeah, 1-on-3.
On land.
Like, last second of a map that would have broken the game open. Like, yeah, anyway. We won't get into that, but it's the pressure. It's the situation, and he pulls it off. Twist. Swinging back around, JW gets one, but now it's Electronic on that AK, showing exactly why they dropped him that gun. JW with an aid to go out toward the van. I was going to say truck, van, all the same. Smoke down, they won't push through it yet. There are 3 toward the bench, so if they push through, that's a fight worth taking. People would be lined up. Zeus gets tight inside of the corner toward the window. Simple watching it with the Deagle, now has a decision to make. Which way does he want to go? Toward JW. AWP up close, still wins it. M4's down, so they have to use the AK. This has to be an ace from Electronic, and the bomb should help him in doing so. Both are coming from Checker, which means they can't walk back out from the apartments. Low HP, sprays in, tags up JW, he's on 1. And Electronic has 100 HP armor in the AK. That one rifle that they saved, that they carried over, that they didn't chase and defuse the bomb, that's going to win them the rounds.
10-0. Electronic, 4 rounds into the game, puts an ace on the board to put Fnatic in economic turmoil early, where they have a choice of a force buy. What a phenomenal play here. Cracks open the bomb site single-handedly, allows them the avenue to get the bomb down, and then takes the last 3 players like it's absolutely nothing. Cool as a cucumber there under pressure.
Maybe they should have chased. I get it. It was early. Yeah, of course. And they can't justify it with losing the money themselves, but man, oh man, what a round. Electronic said it in an interview, I will be as good or better than Simple. Which is a strange thing to say to your teammate, right? It's almost like throwing it in his face. But you know what? If I was Simple, I would have said, good, I hope you are. Yeah. 2 of them would just be unbelievably good. And if he starts hitting this level more consistently, whew, maybe Astralis does have some competition.
It's wild to think that Electronic, when he joined the team, was putting more supportive roles. As Simple is going to open things up this time round. Number 2 in terms of opening kills effectiveness in the tournament. And that is why the AWP, striking true, will take down Twist. Fnatic here, they're going to posture for a bit of control over towards short. They're boosted on up on the box, so up and over is exist. Might get Zeus for free here. Ooh, he doesn't get it done. He'll eventually trade it out as that will take him. Now accelerated the pace towards B. JW, lots of pressure.
Taking some time. JW pressure works for him. Deagle shot lands onto Edward. Crims jump across to the cinders and up through the vents. He has the FAMAS. Has armor. Brolan has head armor and just picked up an AUG. I think that might be the signaling of the end because they don't have kits. You might as well save the guns you've got. The risk is quite high going against Electronic, Simple, and Flamey. So now it's 4-1 for Fnatic. Excuse me, for Navi.
I want to build on the point that I made earlier about, Fnatic maybe having the easier side of the bracket. Well, with the randomized seeding, when you move into the quarterfinals, and also the Swiss system and the way that that works, you can only play who's put in front of you, and they've dispatched of the opponents accordingly to get to this position. The NRG game yesterday, if you missed it, was as close as it comes, but they came out on top, and they did it in style, right? They were winning clutches, they were doing it in an insane way. Their style of Counter-Strike, it feels like it's lacking at least in some pocket strategies to pull on out and get it done, but their individuals, their awareness across the map, they definitely have star power. We know what Crims can do. JW yesterday on that overpass game, he stepped right back up, showing some form of old. So Fnatic, the potential that they were painted with last year as we were simmering out 2018. In 2019, it fell flat. They fell flat on their face. It was a wake-up call. It was a way for them to, I don't know, readdress whatever problems they might be having, humbling moment. And now into this tournament, they're showing why we put stock in them at one point. And so we're kicking off round number 6 here. Brolan, he has to make some big frags. Able to make the first, and now Simple searching for the orb.
Electronic, though, gets Brolan back through the smoke. You touched on a good point. Fnatic getting here, they did it in style. We saw some crazy clutches. I think the rivalry events versus Navi right now is fantastic. I hope it continues to build beyond just the major in this event. I hope we see it more frequently. But Fnatic had some incredible moments as well. Twist, the 1-on-2, low HP, over top of Quad with an AWP.
Yeah, that was nuts. How did he even get close to that? It's lucky that he killed the low HP player at
the high HP player first, yeah, and got the pistol on the second. Certainly, everything went in his favor. And then you talk about Twist, the Molotov to Daps, the brains to do that, then the clutch inside of the smoke where he kills one, instantly defuse as the plant pretty much just went down. So they weren't ready or expecting him to get on it so quickly. There was a lot of thought in some of those, and yeah, they not only played with skill, but got some of the clutches. That's a key ingredient to making it this far in a tournament. You can't do it all on skill all the time. Okay, sure, Astralis has given us a fantastic blueprint to work with, but even they have a guy like Xyp9x who wins clutches time and time again for them.
And you can't just copy exactly what they do. You need to use your tools to their absolute most, and that is what Navi are doing. Now, the Des mentioned Flamey as a name to look for, right? He has been relatively quiet, all things considered. We've been noting more the likes of obviously Simple and Electronic with Zeus's contributions, Edward as well with Impact. It has been Flamey who, at the major, he was going absolutely beastly. So if he can step up to that form.
Sometimes it's a space thing.
Of course.
If you could give me the choice between 13-0, by the way, for Electronic, you give me the choice between Electronic going off or Flaming going off, I think I would rather have Electronic going off.
Yeah, sure, I'm with you there. I think he's more of a versatile player. We've seen him play very close to smokes as well. Every time one seems to drop on the T or CT side, he'll just gravitate towards it like a moth to a flame. And things are looking very easy for Navi. Their game plan is paying off in spades here. Edward's going to take some damage towards top and middle from that AWP, and that will force him to drop on back. Electronics can come late through underpass potentially, and 3 players watch over towards A. And Brolan through the smoke. He's going to take down Flamey. He's just used the traces there. That's a big kill.
Clever little lad. He'll be like 2 months away from his final high school exams.
Maybe that's why his parents, well, we're assuming it's his parents. It could be anybody, really.
Electronics starting to go out from the underpass. So they are trying to get toward middle, but taking their time about it. There's still 56 seconds. There's lots of time to work with.
The bomb's now top mid, so it feels like they've left the idea of A alone. Maybe they want to allow a window boost here and then go for a B split.
Crims knows exactly where that came from. Get forward of it. Good find. Edward was already low enough. He's very good in this position. One of the reasons Fnatic is so successful. Got caught trying to sneak into the corner by Electronic. Unfortunate. If he had stopped up to take the fight, he might have actually wanted to attack that through the wall. And then in moving, Electronic already had the angle. Twist will at least get Zeus back. Still the advantage significantly so to Fnatic with 26 now. And Electronic sitting on 11. Simple. 70. Does Electronic finally die?
Maybe he'll just save.
18 seconds.
The thing is, they should try and do damage to Fnatic's economy here. Like, we can obviously talk about the fact that, you know, the loss bonus, we'll go into that as the rounds kind of spiral in that direction. But taking away the guns on the CT side, I'm a broken record at this point. The extra cost with the diffuse kits, obviously have to buy the incendiary, that's 1,600 to the 400 Molotov, and Electronic will stay alive. So still going to sit at 14 and 0. Doesn't have an assist on the board, so all of his kills and his damage has been clean. Got Edward in at 6 kills to his name, Simple on 3, Flamey and Zeus with 1 each. On the other side of things, Brolan leading the way. JW also on 5. Twist was 4, 3 for Crims, and 1 for Exist. So we're going into round number 8 right now. Score is 5-2 in favor of Navi. Brolan going aggressive again, so he is seeking out a lot of these opening kills on the CT side. See him here posted up in Palace. He's doing a lot of aggressive plays yesterday on Overpass, so it could be a theme to the youngster. We were saying it looked better when he was more decisive. It has to duel with Simple here.
Crims just waiting it out once again, as you'd expect to find him inside of the connector. Flash from Zeus. High side peak potential off that from the boxes. Wouldn't quite catch window unless they were looking over the ledge.
This has been going on for the last 30 seconds. The two of them have just been standing there waiting, holding their respective lines. Simple would have to be the one to aggress further here unless a kill goes down where Brolan goes for more information. But look at them. They've just been standing and waiting. Usurper.
Oh. Yeah, sorry, son. You still got a lot to learn, it seems. Simple doesn't get fooled that easy. But that's almost what I expect. It's not going to be any one of the old guard that's going to take on Simple. It's going to be someone younger and faster that might come along. Device, he can get up to that challenge every now and then. He's still a young man with a lot of skill. But I feel like it's going to be a 16, 17-year-old that has to be the one to dethrone him. It's eventually, and how long will that take? Because, again, he's still in his prime, and it looks like he could get better. That's the scary part with Simple.
Yeah, his peak, where is it? That's the true question. Now it's going to be an A play here. 20 seconds left. Navi have to accelerate the pace. 2 players over towards CT spawn, and JW, he loves to play spoiler with that AWP.
Edward drop, though. JW got that reconnector, no smoke on it. Flamey had to run. He couldn't have time to get the bomb out. He didn't have time to get the smoke out to get the bomb. And that means he went down 5 seconds. Time was not there, and in a chaotic frenzy, it was a slaughter by Fnatic. It's 5-3. Guns? Not really.
No, Navi have a choice to make here. They're dropping across some AKs, so it looks like they will go for the buy.
The fact that it's built up 2 rounds, this will be a 3rd round bonus, and if they get a bomb plant on that, maybe.
So they have all the goodies that they want, even the AWP in the hands of Simple. Fnatic 2 have 1 up on the board. And JW, like I said, he likes to play spoiler, right? He is the traditional. He's not the traditional. He was the pioneer, right, of the aggressive, disruptive, in-your-face, and especially when he had the CZ in its initial stages. Think about that combo between the AWP, even if he missed.
Even and the Tech 9 before that.
Yeah.
Nice nade. Simple's gone. They stack it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. He was the first to use that combo before the slow draw speed.
Exactly.
And Fnatic, they were famous. They had a logo built with the Tech 9 incorporated. Not them, but a fan did it. Because they were called, what was it? Fanatech 9, I think it was, is what they called them.
My memory's not that good. But I'm sure someone's got it still saved on their hard drive somewhere. Flamey's left in a 1-on-4 situation. All the kills felt like they just were easy for Fnatic in that round. Constantly able to pivot after that opening kill onto Simple with the grenades landing on him. And now Flamey, the best he can do is just keep him on and get some kills, but Exist, he'll get it done with the AUG from the vent room. Trained on in with the scope of that bad boy. We'll move on over to the AK-47. Still players are loving the preferential treatment for the AK no matter what. That's the double nades. And you see him drop down, get taken out of the round very quickly. And now the double AWPs is actually going to come into play for that of Fnatic here. So Twist and JW, we were talking about the fact that Broland exists and Crims on Inferno. They kind of just set up the backbone of the team, and that allowed the more sporadic, the more aggressive players on the CT side. JW and Twist could float around. Will be a tactical pause coming out from Navi here to discuss their options. I can already see the buy that's coming on in as Electronic has a CZ75 and a smoke grenade. Flamey has a grenade to his name, so maybe there's some kind of a play. Could be the smoke towards top mid, and then a couple of grenades from behind the smoke into window, because JW has had a lot of presence there in the map thus far. If they can punish him and scare him from actually playing that position at the start of the rounds, force him to go towards connector, do the jump over towards catwalk, make him feel a little bit more uncomfortable. So there's still only 1 grenade in the hands of Flamey here. We haven't seen what else is brought on in, as freeze time will be ticking on down. They do need more than 1 grenade to land in window if they want to make sure that they can punish him. Maybe it was a strat change. Maybe it's the early call that's now been formed into something else, because, yeah, it is just 1 HE. And they've not gone for a full buy. They've left just above 1K on a few of their players. Simple has a UMP. And they want to explode onto the A-bomb side, it seems.
That'll include and incorporate Simple from mid. He only has 4 kills right now. It's been all Electronic on their side, 15-2. 5-4, they still have the lead, but Simple's certainly been matched in terms of frags. Fiscally had 2 of those, keep in mind. Broland, 6 kills to his name, plays triple. Gonna try and time his peak. Holds toward A main. I don't think he's fully aware that they're inside the site. Apparently he is. Baits them in even with the shots toward A main. But Flamey and Simple step up. The UMP finding one. Shut down by Crims, who is waiting for the chance to fire through the smoke, which is a gap, but he's befixed upon the gap, and betwixt is Electronic to go above, take him down. It's not done yet though. Twist and Exist, he's finding kills back. It's all on Electronic. Maybe that's the man you want it to be on right now. Oh, he sprayed in, he almost got him. Exist to 21, but he'll get the plant. That's more important at this point, or is it Exist knows where he is as a result of it, and it's tied.
That one there got very scary for a second for Fnatic. They really isolated the duel on Crims, and I thought after Electronic was able to pick him up, that could have actually been the round. They're just trading over the guns here. The defuse will come in. But the fact that Navi are keeping it very competitive with a bomb plant, 2 players survive. The bank has built up for the majority of the Fnatic players here. And we'll be able to scavenge both AWPs to keep up this 2-pronged setup. Navi have no problems going for the buy. Simple deciding on a glass cannon AWP or an AK-47. We'll go for the AK here. Let's see what approach from Navi now, because it has been not a light approach, but in the sense of they'll throw the smokes, they'll wait, and then they'll recoup and go. They haven't been giving themselves territory to work with. Maybe they want to mix it up and go a little bit faster now that Edward and Zeus are going relatively quickly towards top mid. Simple and Flamey are staying in spawn, so they've thrown their grenades out a little bit later. He's going to land a window and a cat smoke, or connector smoke even. So this is their potential to get mid control completely here. Electronic coming through underpass. And Fnatic actually playing off mid. Crims is the only man close in connector, and he's hanging around.
Shots in, does massive damage onto Edward. He anticipates correctly, and notably, oh, Electronic, my goodness. Notably, he's using that silenced M4, which gives him a chance to spray in there and not be detected. No tracers. Exist getting 1 kill. Edward goes down.
Needs to note quickly, though, if they do go for an A split here, JW's position, which we just saw on the screen, could hamper them because he can actually hide and wait, and then when they go to plant the bomb, swing out. Brolan can bait them in. So that's if we do end towards the A bomb side. Zeus right now, he's in the vent room. Electronic in connector. Flamey, he's posturing towards a ramp, and Simple, he's now on the mid ramp. Decisions will be coming in.
Exist on the hold toward vent. Should spot Zeus. But they have connector, and they're working toward A main. Great position, JW, as you say, toward Palace. They'll never have expected it. Electronic gets caught out by that. Brolan now has information that they're coming that direction in positions to catch the top of the stairs. Exist back through the smoke, has Zeus in front of him. So he didn't get it because of the smoke down. That was a smart play to get by him, forced his hand, and he could not sneak in behind. Brolan's forced out. Simple's the one that's waiting. Simple's not going to get the shot. Flamey is.
He's going to push this, surely.
Oh, I think he can. I don't think he can afford to. Unfortunately, Twist is on a second op, so it's a double op retake, and he's outside of connector. He's the immediate threat, and therefore he had the attention. Flamey might consider that he's rotated around to A main. That lets him get back in, but now he knows. They don't really need to worry about it, though. They don't need to face him because they need to find Twist first. Now that they know Twist is not coming A main, Flamey can start to contain a little bit more, and I think both ops have to back away. And Flamey's even going to try and beat JW out because 7 HP bomb could take him down. JW's going to have to go quite far here.
Simple's chasing for the other side, so...
Yeah, they know he's in this L turn.
Yeah, JW is stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's going to be difficult for him to survive here because Simple will accelerate the pace momentarily now. Flamey as well pushing on up, so he's going to close in on his position. It's just a matter of timing now with the round ticking down.
Away.
Big shot from JW to survive and hold on to the 2 orb. So the most expensive weaponry on the board for the CT side will be carried on through. Happy with that one is the crowd, that golf clap we've been talking about. But Navi felt like they may have been in a bit of danger there because having those orbs in those 2 positions, it's not a crossfire that can happen at the same time, but it's a crossfire that can poke if you get a little bit lazy in your discipline in that post-plant situation. They did survive, and now we're going to get underway with a bit of mid-control right now. Brolan will actually be Molotov back out of position, doesn't want to hang around and fight that. The window smoke, the catwalk smoke, it's more than enough, and see that Zeus is just throwing out some nades to keep the B-bomb site honest. Twist will get flashed off the line, but I think he's jumped back up with the AWP for info. So they have a lot of info over towards B. They're not worried about too much pressure there. That allows Exist to be able to cheat on over. But the issue with the A-hold right now is all 3 players were over towards connector as Brolan eventually makes it back towards CT spawn. So that could have been an issue with this impending A attack right now.
Brolan gets a little more aggressive. He started in connector. It's now Crim's back in that position. Sandwich.
He's mixed it up a lot, right? Close A ramp, he's been in apps, played ticket, now he's in sandwich. So the really cool thing about this is when we know Crims is going to be playing from connector, he does it time and time again, he can really bait it in because they're looking for Brolan in the site. They're seeking for him in the more passive positions, or they're expecting him to be over towards CT spawn. That's a good multi-kill potential right there. There are 2 Molotovs on the board from Electronic and Simple. Not usually used towards sandwich unless you have a full kit.
Brolan not spotted yet, doesn't want to peek it. He's just holding to see if they'll wrap, and Edward does. He wasn't spotted elsewhere. JKS, remember, was really good at staying in behind triple. But Brolan's taking the opposite approach, as you say, being dynamic, rotating it around. Lots of shots, no kills. Until now, Flamey's found by Crims through the firebox.
At least they've planted.
That's a good point. 4 on 4, though.
Smoke for this retake, 2 on JW.
All 4 have kits, make it all 3. Zeus gets Crims walking back in. They know now there's one towards Sandwich. Nade will do damage, but not enough. Not enough, as Zeus re-peeks back out with 79 HP, only falls to 37 in the duel. JW gets Electronic, but time is gone, I think, on this one, unless they gift him a bunch of kills. Don't think that's going to happen. And Edward's
chasing Twist right now. He might get him.
He is chasing Twist. I thought he could even hold for JW's AWP, but he gets one of the two at least.
Both.
And Zeus, he is there. They might get both. Doesn't want to repeat it because he knows it's the off, but he's going to jump across. Knows he can't. Oh, he can.
Whoa!
Too slow to go through the vent. That's the problem. Because he baited one shot out, but JW had just enough room in that corner.
JW survives 2 rounds in a row with red HP, just getting through and grabbing a kill in the nick of time. Taking that away would have been hugely detrimental because right now, looking at the money situation for Fnatic, when they take this pause, they're going to be discussing the same thing. JW can drop over an M4. Brolan can actually buy a rifle of his own. Exist, he can buy in as well. It's just Twist and Crims who have to make some decisions. So Twist, he's been doing a lot of B anchoring, so if he wanted to, he could get a UMP. That's a good gun for that kind of position, and Crims could be the player to get dropped the weapon from JW. Because they, they've been on a decent patch of rounds. They had 4 straight. It wasn't too shabby at all. They were definitely getting it done. Fnatic with the later round scenarios were falling apart. Sorry, Navi with the later round scenarios were falling apart. As we can see the frag leaders right here. Electronic on 17. JW with 14 to his name. The problem is for Navi right now, Matt, it is just all Electronic. He has 17 kills. The next closest is Edward on 8.
Simple backs off of A main already. JW, okay, he's in the ladder room. Just sit window, just take that vent out, but we know he's had movement mechanics to drop. Just like Guardian used to do, check the underpass or jump across to catwalk if he felt so inclined. Twist underneath of the balcony position where Electronic wants to work in from. And he'll go. He'll check it. Twist got fortunate. He's outmarked, but not outmanned.
Lots of damage.
Fall off the balcony saves him. You're right. There is tons. Twist already has Flamey down as well. He's going to work inside of that smoke. Hold position. JW can bait some of sound cues and aggro in that direction. Give Exist a chance to walk back in. Bomb will be planted. Simple has to check the flank before he can focus on the arches, which means Exist gets in behind. JW's off finds the kill. It's all on Edward. They know he's in the corner. He's got to drop down. He gets JW at least, but he's not aware that Brolan's already snuck into sight. Good response from Fnatic.
Yeah, with a light investment right there, they can even pick up that secondary AWP and go back to the double AWP setup if they want. Crims is going to stay with the AK-47. Brolan with one of the big greens. So maybe they have enough money where they feel they can buy it to themselves because we're going into round number 13 here. We're at the business end of the first half. Dropping the guns across. Twist has an M4. So it's just going to be the single AWP setup right now. Exist has plenty of money to buy on in. We're coming through momentarily. Whereas now for Navi, that's where the questions start to need answers. As Simple will pick up the AWP. To be a Galil for Edward, so they don't have too much utility to work with. Maybe they'll do something more contacty, more of a direct approach. So he's going to throw some grenades early towards this B bomb site. Now we've seen Electronic doing that quite a lot, and it's to keep them honest, but when Electronic does it, he's actually posturing for kills. So this is throwing it more as just a standard fake, and that'll bait out utility and keep the players honest. If you look towards the tendencies, and that's what the coaches, that's what the analysts, that's what the in-game leaders do, they look for how these players like to approach this. So Zeus mimicking that for Electronic meant that if he was on another section of the map, he could be going for a pick, but they are just waiting, they are just holding. And Electronic didn't have the utility to actually do the whole little maneuver himself. So now late through middle, just off a window smoke, 3 to 1 at the top. Zeus coming in the underpass, and Electronic still leaning towards the B bomb site. Crims perched up over the top here.
Simple has JW though. The opening kill again. They call it the entry when it's the opener, but not always does it enter to a site, but it certainly gives them room to work with. Crims still boosted up. Time to line up all day on Zeus. Drop off as well. They can't get back through the smoke fast enough, but when they do, Exist is traded on. Trade is important. It's the advantage of Flamey. 4 HP is firmly with Fnatic, and Flamey gives himself up to Twist. Crims playing the pillar as well as up close. Simple has the bomb though. He can go anywhere he pleases. Brolan seems to be the one that's aware of that. He'll have heard him dropping in as well. Doesn't have an angle to spot him, however. Silence across. Okay, it's Twist that gets Electronic. Simple silent across the table.
Does Brolan know?
I don't think he does.
I thought he would have heard it.
I don't think he's aware he even couldn't see that. So he rotates back around, CT perhaps, but Simple likewise doesn't know timing's going to be everything here. Brolan's going to show up and Simple needs to react. He's not looking. He's gone. Perfect timing in Brolan's favor and a bit of luck to have it, but it is Fnatic's round 7-7. From 5-1 down, keep that in mind.
Yeah, they've definitely stabilized here. The question is, how many do we think Navi need?
a lot. I mean, Fnatic's record on this map right now is flawless.
That's true. I was just having a look at the teams that they've beaten on this map in recent times. Now the names in ascending order: Cloud9, Liquid, G2, Team Russia at WSG, Optic, NIP, Vitality, and Norm. Some are very close games. 16-14s are scattered throughout here. There's overtime matches of the iBuyPower Masters. And the most recent affairs here are 16-6s over North and Vitality. So it's not the worst of resumes, that's for sure. Navi, though, are at 70% on this map win rate. So, you know, when you take out a couple of those games that Fnatic have played, it doesn't change the stat, but the gravitas of the teams is Twist here. He's set on up. Could mow down here.
Exist. That's one, tags it up. Twist back in the corner behind. Not sure he's aware that Thomas jumped in, but his positioning's good enough anyway. Flamey gets him back. Twist is still smoked off, but looks above the van. Good thing Electronica down 2 HP. It would have been an easy shot. It's when he repeaks. Nade tried to force him out of position. He tanked it. Just decided he didn't care. And rightfully so, although Simple does get a headshot through the wall and the Scout. He's now got a 1v3 with the Scout. 46 seconds and they're all over him. Body shots won't do. Not with that weapon, I'm afraid. And Fnatic win the half.
Yeah, decent there. Great turnaround. It was looking relatively dire in those early stages, but it's good that they're here to fight, right? Because I think coming into this, we were just building the stark contrast between the runs to this position. And if Fnatic here, they couldn't go toe-for-toe, especially on the CT side of their map choice to kick off the series, then you start to really wonder, right? Because in the way that the best of 5 flows, obviously you only have to ban 1 map each. Navi, of course, Keish, Fnatic, they got rid of Train. And then it just becomes an order. So we do have the veto, and it is going to be Mirage number 1. I believe Dust 2 was pick number 2 for Navi. And if you lose 2 in a row, then the pressure's on you for the rest of the series. That's the reverse sweep situation that seems to elude everybody.
Yeah, we've had a reverse sweep, did we not? Have we?
I don't think we've had a reverse sweep at a best-of-5 final. I can't remember how the Mouse Sports versus Liquid one went down. I don't think it was...
No, I think that was 1-1.
Yeah. But then they went down,
yeah.
And yeah.
I've casted so many of them, but I don't think I've ever done a reverse sweep fully.
So we will be getting the second half underway here. Freeze time ticking on down. Utility in the hands of existing Crims. P250 for Crims. Smoking a flash. Exist will have smoking 2 flashes. So they're heading over towards top mid early to allow Crims to use that P250 to duel against Simple. So this could be a very great start here. Either way, as Pokemon up, Simple breaks the vent. Actually was the cue for them to come on out.
We're doing what we can to at least assist in Simple's getting kills. He's gotten 1. Remember, pistol last time. Found 2. This time he's equaled that. Looking for JW. He's got 3. Doesn't need to do much more, but he won't. Oh, he unfortunately succumbs to Exist. Thankfully, they all pursue and chase him down before he can get away. He was a little bit too far back.
Always the showman, Simple, isn't he?
Well, he owes me a knife, so that's his way of doing it, I guess.
Like an actual knife or a knife kill?
No, he owes me an actual knife. Okay. Let's not get down that road.
All right. So Navi there. Crisp. I thought that they would have backed off that mid duel after they gave up the territory of the mid box, but they had Edward pivot, they had a lot of contact. Zeus was there as well, and they were happy to take the fights. And Simple, after he had a chance to stabilize, he got it done. It's going to be a fast play right now from Fnatic. They'll have 1 flash. This is applying pressure to Zeus. Flamey's going to be close. So this is what a lot of teams like to do on Mirage, is apply a lot of pressure to Zeus, the in-game leader, the weakest fragger for this unit, but he's been standing tall and having a lot of impact. Flash comes over. He's not blind. If he can just take 1 or 2 kills here, that's 1. That'll be 2. Flamey's there to help on out.
It was interesting they decided to run through the window to avoid that position in the corner, but Zeus saw it coming, heard them jump, and actually stepped out to make sure he got a line of sight. Because otherwise he could have been up on the balcony going, they didn't even come near me.
So this is the important thing that Navi were doing, at least at the major, was they bolstered their defense towards Zeus's part of the map early. They would, you know, on Train, for example, put Simple there with an AWP to help him out so that it scares them away early and they can't just lean on that bomb site. So let's see if they go for a similar approach right here. Simple does have the AWP out. There are 3 Orgs and a UMP in the hands of Zeus. It's going to be the top mid smoke coming out, and Flamey and Zeus over towards B. Simple will just be towards window. So they haven't gone for anything too crazy. It is just a standard approach. They're barreling through underpass. Are they going for the same little boost situation that Renegades did, the Hunter boost? Is that what they were opting to go for? There's no window smoke, so that doesn't make that as easy.
Simple even pre-fired it.
When you run that fast underpass, you definitely sound cues. The short player, which in this instance is Flamey, he can hear that, he can call that. It's just whether or not you expect them to go through the smoke. So they've smoked window now. Let's see if they boost on in.
Well, look at the setup, though. Simple was still watching for it. Flamey's pushed out. Edward could even watch it from connector, and Flamey's the one that finds JW instead because they went the wide side boost rather than up close. Simple, the second one in. Oh, baby! Broland tagged in the shin, followed up. Both land on the no-scope. Quick, I think, on one. 9-8, and it looks like Twist and Crims have a very large task if they want to tie this game back up.
Well, it worked for Renegades, but it didn't work for Fnatic as they've gone for a very similar approach. It's very easy to copy a strategy and try and throw it into your playbook if you've seen it earlier in the tournament, but Navi, they've realized that was a weakness. You could see how prepared Flamey was for that. He knew exactly. You don't sit on that cap position looking for a window boost unless you're aware that they know it's a weakness, and that's the counter. That's the back and forth nature of Counter-Strike. So right now in a 2-on-4 situation, Simple posted up towards B. He's going to get this kill nice and easily. Bomb will be dropped, and now Krim stuck over towards Connector. Look, it's his key position on the CT side, but can he get anything done on the T side? 20 seconds left.
Electronic does hold off. 3 in a row now for Navi. The nice pink mouse for Simple. Maybe that's the trick.
Yeah.
Order today.
I guess we do the sponsor plug for GGBet right now. So it's a message from our sponsors making the tournament possible. Head over to GGBet and use the code STARBET for a $15 bonus on a single bet.
Maybe you can win yourself enough to buy a Zowie pink mouse.
But remember to gamble responsibly. I can't stress that enough. All right, so a pistol upgrade right now from Fnatic here. Looks like they're set up for a bit of a B split or at least a late cat play.
It's menacing. It's a shot from the Inferno.
He just got spammed through the wall.
Zeus got nailed through the wall. Number 22, he's got to run back to the cat. Get to the arch. Get to the arch. She turns around and fights and actually beats Broland. I know it's a pistol, but it was so low. It would have been one shot. He got the better of him, and Flamey is able to help out. Just trying to find a shot through the wall. Yep, that's what I was going to allude to. The fact that he was focused on the window, the second player would be able to get the jump on him. Apparently not. Good reactions and good awareness. Electronic will take down JW, close the rounds.
So it's all about the details here. That's a clean sweep from Navi. They didn't concede the plant. They didn't concede any deaths. And because it was a quick approach, Fnatic didn't milk much of the utility. Sure, they had to use the counter grenades. We saw the HEs come in, the Molotovs, etc. But they were able to hold on to a bunch of flashes, a handful of smoke. So not too much of an investment for Navi going into round number 20. Still got the Augs up. Head armor on everybody. And the bank is definitely swelling here as most players are sitting above or around that 5k plus mark. Simple aggressive in middle here. Molotov will signal his retreat, or will it?
Simple. Back toward the connector at exactly the moment that they crossed over toward the boxes. That's due to a flash. He couldn't really stay there. And he's going to rotate all the way around to B. You know what? He's going to go cat. There's 3 players in A. I say that. He's sitting in the backside of B, isn't he? He's being very passive. He's watching cat, but he's not holding it. He's not getting aggressive.
Yeah, Electronics actually picked up the slack towards window. He's just pivoted back from CT spawn. So Edward and Flamey are still deep in towards the A side. Okay, Zeus, he is more than confident. He's been carrying this through the entirety of the tournament. It's a different look, Zeus.
Normally, that's the biggest weakness, that Zeus gets overrun at B time and time again. Ladder, Electronic didn't even see it coming. Broland, again, they didn't control middle fast enough. They gave up so much room to get toward that window. If Simple had rotated over, maybe they stopped that. Maybe they shut it down in time.
Oh!
But Flamey's got better ideas. Takes over Palace. It's only on to Exist. Broland's still in this. He's got to rotate around. Exist has 2 HP. Broland's got there. Good headshot angle, but that's perfect for headshots. If Flamey's in charge, and Exist has nowhere to go. Simple even picking up the AUG. Knows he doesn't need the op in this situation. Knows that he's tagged. Can just hold off. Doesn't want to go through the vent. Smart call. 2 HP is enough if you're crawling slowly through that tight choke point. But with 16 seconds and the bomb up, he's going to have to get closer to the site sooner or later. And I don't even know what Exist does here. If he
should plant.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he even tries to plant, though, he goes down, right?
Well, the reason I say you should plant is because they already have the max loss bonus, right? You need the plant to get that extra money so that you're able to get a proper buy. The max loss bonus is only 3,400, and the majority of them were bottomed out after their buy in that round. And look, they got 3 kills, but that's only plus 300. So a tactical pause will come in right now from Fnatic as Exist has 4,300. There's 3,400 roughly on JW and Twist, and then 39 and 38 for Broland and Crim. So they can actually buy 3 AKs with head armor at least, but they will just go for some grenades and pistols again. The direct approach with this, I talk about the pocket strats and the necessity for it. Well, Navi, they just put up that wall on the CT side and they shut them down before they have any way into the bomb site. So 5 in a row here for Navi. They started the first half in similar fashion. It was 5-1. They were very dominant early. So that's both pistol rounds for the Ukrainian side. Now they just need to continue to stabilize here and break this out. If they lose this round, that's where Fnatic, they open the door. It's just 3 CZs, a P250, and a Deagle. Standard mid grenades. They're going to keep the routine up. So right now, Navi, they have a pretty good idea that they're probably not against a full buy, but they know that utility's out. So they have to be wary of these smokes. We can see on the radar in the top left that nobody's actually pushed up and taken any form of mid control. It's merely to keep the Navi players honest, and they've backed on off. They're doing the 3 players in the A bomb side again, simple towards Ticket. Electronic on the balcony this time. Edward is teaming on up, going close towards A ramp. Flamey covering off window, and they've allowed Zeus, the player who is normally the weakness, to be the anchor on the B bomb site solo. So they're forcing them into this A play.
Fnatic get a T-sided round. Don't have much to work with. Even Twist, who thinks, as I'm out, I'm free. I'm running for it. No, you're not. You're completely being watched by every guard post. And prison for you. Back to the cell. Edward trying to spray out to get JW. That'll ricochet back, even if the nades had landed. If the bullet did first, Electronic gets the kill. 13-8. And K's come back out for Fnatic naturally.
Yeah, so
6 in a row all on kills, no defuses, by the way.
And that's the problem, right? Because they're not getting that extra bonus of cash. So they're having to just take these rounds. Whereas normally if you were to get the bomb down, you can give yourself an extra gun round in the mix here. You're guaranteed that 3,400 time and time again. And as they continue to lose, they continue to build. But getting closer and closer to Navi after that 16 rounds. They've got 13 grenades.
Overwhelmed. Twist a rightful assist on the flash that time. Brolan tries to get up to clear out connector. Exist has the angle above it, so he gets Electronic cleanly. Even if Brolan was there, it's spraying and it didn't matter. Zeus does respond though. Low HP as well. Keep in mind, on Exist, if he wins that against Brolan, he could have swung to found yet another. It's all on to Simple. 1 on 4.
JW's seen him.
I was going to say, we know what he's capable of, but you're right. JW had the angle. He snuck in behind, and finally Fnatic are on the board. 4 players staying alive as well. It's going to knock them back 1 round, so they'll go back to, well, 3,400 actually. They were at 6.
But a levy of money was built up there by Navi on several players because of the relatively clean rounds, the fact that the bomb wasn't going down, so it wasn't too many retakes where they were having to use all their grenades.
Positive reset gets avoided.
Yeah, so this time around, obviously they only get the $1,400 loss bonus, but if they string this round together again, then it's not too bad for them. If it gets close, or if they lose this one, they're in trouble. Simple's doing all the money. It's going to be a quicker play over towards middle again with the utility coming on in, but this time they're not just going to push on through. They're going to slow it down. It looks like they're boosting over the top mid smoke here, so it's a good little counter in case there is any aggression. The smoke is merely just to hold them back, and what this does is when you have your normal default on Mirage, you normally have 2 or 3 players towards top mid and 1 or 2 players coming through underpass depending on your configuration. It slows down how quick you can initiate and hold up. Crims, he's going to go down to Edward. That was a close A ramp play, so one of their extremity players for Fnatic is taken out of the round very early here. Mid is where the focus has to be right now, and they will be going for the window boost. Awareness is there. Simple is already set up towards checkers looking for this. So if JW gets lazy about it, he is going to jump on over. But if he jumps, Simple will hear it. Rotation coming in right now. Electronic coming back towards CT spawn as well. He's pushing in.
He's going to go down.
What?
W has it. Electronic didn't need to go back through that direction.
They knew it was open.
The vent is one of those positions that if you don't know what's on the other side, or if you think you don't even know what's on the other side, maybe don't mess with it.
I don't feel like it needs a caution sticker on it. That's pretty self-explanatory at that point.
Yeah. In other words, unless you're 100% certain there isn't someone on the other side, don't bother. Did Simple just get both? Brolan and Twist gone, removed in 1 shot. Who else other than Simple, and he's looking to close it. Somehow missed out on Exists, but everyone knows where he is. 3 up. Can Exists clutch this back again? Yesterday's clutches were done on Brain, not Brawn. Didn't win any of them on kills per se, and Zeus beats him in the game of chess, and it's now 14 Navi with 2. Remember, best of 5 final.
Fnatic will be able to buy on again after having that streak of 6 rounds go against them earlier in the half. And now Fnatic are poised to take map number 1, which was the choice of Fnatic. We'll let you know that little statistic yet again. It's actually going to be a pause coming in. They're talking through the tactics are Navi. So I like this. This is very disciplined. They're using the pauses to their disposal. They're not just running on into it. Also allowing Fnatic a bit of time to stew. Maybe they had another solution for where they wanted to go in the following gun round. But here, maybe they'll overthink it. Maybe they'll talk too much. Or maybe it'll be an extra 30 seconds where they can reset and get ready and raring to kick this one off, because they have to start fighting back now. 14-9. It's not over by any means, but you give Navi 15, then it always feels like a matter of time until Simple has a miracle round, until Electronic has a multi-kill that stops you, until Flamey picks up the Deagle and drops 3.
Zeus goes around back toward B, naturally. Edward's going to go top mid. Last time he was here, he got flashed, got overwhelmed. Doesn't want to commit to it this time because there's a lot more pressure early on. So he ducks back into connector. I said a lot more pressure early on. Fast. Brolan already down there finds the kill. And absolutely decimates Simple. Exist takes out Zeus. They've got hold of Catwalk. They've got a hold of middle. They've got their claws into Navi because even Flamey can't repeat to get control of mid again. It's just Electronic. Great position, sure. If they had anywhere else to go along with it. And Crims. What a round. That's a sick round.
So with the fast approach, that is the only 2 rounds that Fnatic have been able to get on the board in their second half have been from the very quick jump on in and take the fights, head up, counter-strike. Normally when you look at Navi and this pound for pound, so many star players on this that can lock you down with multi-kills, you think, is that the right play? But they're making it work. The utility usage is on point, their speed, their pace, Brolan hitting those magnificent shots just there. And this time around, Fnatic will take the pause. So we're back and forth with the timeouts. And the question is for Navi, do they want to force buy into this? Because they don't really have enough across the board. Edward could buy, Flamey could just, Simple can. Electronic and Zeus would have to go, well, I guess Zeus could also buy on in here. So it's Electronic is the only one who wouldn't be able to get up a rifle. But because they have 14, maybe that'll make them be a little bit more conservative. Maybe they don't feel the necessity to go all in. Just a couple of pistol upgrades will decorate their side of the map. 4 smokes to work with, 5 smokes, a Simple buys 1, 2 Deagles, 2 CZs, a P250. And now Fnatic are going for what looks like another direct approach over towards this A bomb site. So they're setting up a bit of an execute here.
Shots from the Deagle. Found from it yet. Fnatic with only 2 rounds in this half have broken back Navi after winning 6. Kind of is the positive reset. We said they had money the first time, but back and forth affair, bought a lot of reinvestment.
Did JW hit
significant? You're right. Zeus is in behind them. He's gone around JW. Second kill, follow it up on Flamey. It may not matter if there's no one left alive to help him.
Oh,
he's got the CZ. Oh, look at the damage. So much damage, but he can't close it out. He can't do anything with it. And all 5 stay alive, surprisingly. So close, yet so far.
Yeah, you could see.
You almost think you go for double knife there because the CZ just can't do it.
It felt like they had no idea. It was the perfect timing. He had just swung past JW, who was towards top middle, hiding in his own smoke. And then as JW went back to cover it off, Zeus was already in spawn, and he was super noisy about that. It wasn't like he was, walking. He just was running all the way, unable to convert right there. So that's a bit of a...
You can't even fault Zeus. It's a CZ, and it's back's turn. It's a hard headshot, especially because he's shooting upward. It's even smaller to hit the head.
It's very frustrating for him, but Simple's actually been boosted into the vent here, so he can go and pick middle from this position. JW is very disruptive by playing around these smokes, and that's a big duel, but over towards Iran. Brolan's going to push out. That opening kill factor yet again for Fnatic. Starting things off, but now Edward, he has to stop the pain. He gets 1. Not able to get a second as JW continue forward. The trades continue.
Molotov in behind the smoke. That'll hold anyone trying to rotate back in through the vent or jungle at bay. Flamey, he gets inside of the smoke. He's blind, though. And Crims shows him the lights. It was just a train coming to run him over, though.
Great flash.
Brolan uses it to perfection. Crims tag, Simple gone. Trying to get aggressive as Simple always does. No bomb plant required. Fnatic winning now 4.5 to get back to 12.
Felt worrisome there for a moment for Fnatic. But now it feels like one-way traffic with this faster and more direct approach early. They've been making up their mind in where they want to go. And in this tactical timeout from Navi, it's been a couple taken in the last flurry of rounds. It's been 3 straight. And now if we look at the frag leaders on the side of things for Fnatic, we have JW on 19, Exist and Twist with 17 to their name, Broland 16, and Crims down there on 14. On the other side of things, it is Electronic on 21. But consider the fact he had, what, 10 kills in the first 4 rounds of the game. He was 14-0 at one point. His impact has cooled, but everybody else on the side of Navi has definitely elevated. Simple on 18, 16 for Edward, Flamey on 14, and Zeus on 13. Could have had 2 kills for the Caesar just before, but as you were saying, it is a difficult one to make. And he's obviously felt he shot enough bullets. He should have had that kill, flicks to the second guy, doesn't get it done.
And there's a timer, right? He has to kill the first guy fast enough if he wants any chance at killing the second. Take all day in the first one, you might as well not even try.
Today we've been maybe not lacking the clutch situations, but yesterday we were delighted to get exciting round after exciting round. As we're on board with Zeus right now, he has the Zeus in hand. It's going to be...
I think he confused you. We're on board with Edward, who had the Zeus in hand.
Yes. Not Zeus with the Zeus in hand. Zeus with the Edward in hand.
Yeah. Well, I suppose he's got the whole team in hand if he leads them. It's Exist that gets the kill, though. Crims follows onto Flamey. Fnatic are about to make this a 1-point game. Navi were willing to accept that because they want guns and a better buy. They still have a 2-round buffer currently, but they want the most chance possible to secure an overtime point.
This is the... We're still going with positive reset?
Yeah. Someone tweeted something better if you can. It makes sense, though, right? It's the team that's winning that gets reset.
Yeah, so, like, look at the...
High side reset? I don't know.
Either way, it's frustrating. But Navi have had their chances, right? It's not like they haven't had gun rounds on the board since then, but you can see that the loss bonus hasn't actually built for them just yet. So they're not getting the 3,400, and they're not able to get gun rounds on the board, where for Fnatic for the rest of the game, they will be able to have guns. They're having clean round after clean rounds. It felt like, you know, after losing so many in a row that, you know, you've already started to build that buffer of the plus 3,400. That doesn't exist at this stage. But Navi have found themselves in more economical turmoil where, you know, they didn't have enough because they weren't getting kills to justify going for buys against a low-money Fnatic. So they've taken more ecos than what you'd normally see from Navi, especially at this kind of stage of the game. And now they have to go for a buy where Simple can't even buy the AWP. If somebody drops it across to him, then they won't be able to buy everything that they need due to the price of 47.50. So they have to go with 5 rifles. What they could do is give up mid off the bat and actually go and target the extremities, right? Bolster the defense up towards B apps, go seeking there, throw a deep smoke in, allows Zeus to push up and play in the kitchen. That's going to put pressure on that mid hold from Fnatic when they go for all their smokes there. Or do what they did before where they seeked out Crims towards a ramp. They had that opening kill. So there are players to isolate from Fnatic if they want to go for this mid-heavy play. It's just how are they going to do it? And do Navi have a move? Do they have the smokes? Do they have the right utility to facilitate that? That becomes the question. Simple did get the AWP, so somebody took an omission there on utility, that's for sure. I assume it'll be Edward, because he has no grenades. So
absolutely nothing. And Simple's got 1 smoke. They've got 4 to delay with.
It is overthought, just to note.
Broland gets Molotov out of position at the kitchen. He'll go to the underpass instead for now. He's all on his lonesome over toward B, and that's for a reason. Trying to get information, trying to hold rotations, trying to force maybe a few if he could get really fortunate, but it's the other 4 on the A side. And Simple's trying to work in off the back of his teammates. He's gone. He didn't know that Crim snuck through the smoke. Electronic couldn't see it in time because he's got a different angle toward it. He's got to be very careful being sprayed at Ticket Booth on 75. Still finds the kill. Edward, he found Crims on the AWP, picked up, but Electronic's got to get out. Tried to stay in the flames to do the damage. Did he get Twist from that? He did.
It was a trade. They traded each other there.
That's actually impressive that he got it because he was at 10 when he started shooting, and he died to the flames immediately after in 2 ticks. It's a pressured shot to hit, and it gives them still the advantage.
Edward has to hit this shot on Broland here, or vice versa. I was going to say that either way, that could have been the key to the round. And Edward on low HP with the AWP he dropped. He's been the hero with it, picked up 2 kills, and now exists in limbo. 3 players to find, and he is boxed on in. Zeus coming through, Palace behind, Flame over towards CT spawn, and Edward playing passive. He's going to fake the plant.
The peak, but little did he know they were behind him as well. Zeus and Flamey together, and it's 15. That's exactly why Navi wanted to wait to get a better buy. Just to note, Electronic still leads on 23. Simple's on 18. 18 and 19. He was slow to start yesterday's first series, the quarterfinal. Remember, they played twice yesterday. The quarterfinal, And what was that, Train? He was 14 and 9 or something while saving a lot, or 14 and 6. And then didn't really get much more than that. Finished in the low 20s. It was the impact missing. Again today, he's got a lot of kills. More impact arguably than Train yesterday, but don't let this game fool you. He can still come back in this series with vengeance.
Fired up right there on that Inferno game, and these Clutch got them into it and actually turned the series on its head. So it's going to be the quick approach again for Fnatic. They've won 2 rounds off the back of that, which has given them a chance in this game, and they've gone to run the same strat again. So now the question becomes for Navi, how do we rotate around? Because they've shown by trying to fight this, they've lost. They've lost this twice, so they have to do something a little bit more passive. Zeus in window, he's going to have to deal with one. That grenade, I'm not sure if he actually meant to miss it, but it's landed exactly on JW, so maybe lucky, as Edward will take down one, and now JW lying in wait. It's going to be a matter of timing. Zeus almost caught him there. The X-ray misleading for us. Has he seen him twice now? He gets the better. The damage of the nade, it comes out on top. Zeus with luck on his side this time round. It's simple, takes down Twist. It's a 2-on-5.
And it might be the game. It might be opening map going to Navi. This is Fnatic's map choice. What a way to start it. Simple just trying to go for the jump shots. Can't do it. Grims is left alone, though. Does manage to pull one more back. Hang on. They're giving him a chance. They nearly gave him a lineup as Flamey gave himself up. Electronic gets the kill through the window, and it's Navi. Just barely. 15, make that, excuse me, 16.